Okay, time to get started with tonight on weekly series. So, summary of the week and month. October has been heavy with work. Over this short period of time, I've brought up the idea of note taking and workflow phases. My past 3 days needed note taking. However, I did not end up using workflow phases in my normal routine. I went straight to coding for a project that had to be turned in by October 30th, which is today. By tonight, 11:59. No writing or video creation. Breaks were still needed though. After late nights and missed alarms, I had realized how important this change in waking up early mattered in productivity. It could even make a difference for those who have a night late night shift for work. As long as you are aware of what you expect out of your morning routine, you are in control. So, what's expected for November? I'll be talking about note taking a bit more, maintaining focus for a late night project, much like what I've just worked on this morning actually. Planning for tomorrow. So at the time, say today, and thinking about, okay, if I'm going to work on this project and it's going to be a late night, might as well think about the time, or at least estimate the time you're going to wake up and get your day started. And of course, more side projects. So I'll also bring up some lessons learned. I may have mentioned here, but well, let's begin. All right, so for weekly series, this Kanban is still, it's pretty stacked for the done section. I do have one thing going on for doing that's coming real soon, and the backlog definitely needs some work. So I plan to do this over the weekend, and hopefully the next weekly series is much more cleaner and with more progress. Let's get straight to business here. For weekly series today, it's all been about this work that's been hammering down, constantly changing the times that you wake up, or say you haven't figured out the problem in this project and you like to keep going. Now it happens to everyone. It even happened to me, and I didn't follow the times that I normally wake up, which would be at 7:15. I want to get started with writing and video creation. Now that didn't happen. I just went straight to the code and understanding what's the problem, like what's going on here. I even took out a Word document and I started writing away, just breaking down the program piece by piece, because I mean there is a certain point where you exercise all of your resources, all the things that you know, to solve something. You start reading, you start breaking down you start breaking down the code section by section, and you see, well, maybe this is designed for that purpose. This other section is in connection with this other section. So you see all the pieces of the puzzle connect. Now, that's the reason why I started note taking. I had to make sure of the sections that I was working on that I had to highlight, because of course I'm going back to those sections and I have to add more code into that, and I have to let myself know that I'm completed with that section. Now what note taking did is that it helped me understand where I got sources of information from, and I worked from there, and I was able to understand more what these questions, what these statements were asking me for. Now, I eventually worked with some classmates to get this project turned in, and that helped me immensely. Now, another thing I'd like to talk about for maintaining focus for a late night project. This is something that I'd like to see if it's possible that you can find a workaround for this. Now, based off the past 3 days of me working on this project, I want to see if I'm able to. Okay, well, if it's already 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I'm probably going to wake up at this time, 11, maybe 12, set up a temporary alarm, and get straight back into coding. Just feeling relaxed and energized, ready to take on the day and to get back on the project. Now, planning for tomorrow is the same thing as what I just described just now, in terms of the time that you like to wake up and setting up a temporary alarm. Also, this goes in conjunction with note taking, and it's also good to note that, well, I created these sets of notes on October 29th, and now it's October 30th, and I want to understand, well, maybe not really a day time difference, but possibly a week or even more, just so you can understand what types of information that you're required to at least change, modify, see from the problem that you've been working on any changes that you need to make. More projects. Well, of course, unfortunately for this month, I really haven't gotten to any side projects. And yet I have been consistent with new ideas, new concepts for this video. For these series, workflow phases, perfect. You wake up, start writing, start recording your video, and then you go straight into your personal project or schoolwork or work, really. Now, lessons learned. I may have described this already in the beginning of the video, but I need to just setting this as a reminder that it is helpful to wake up at a certain time and to expect how the day will go. Now, there's also the time frames of the day that you're most comfortable with, but it's also good to plan the time that you're going to wake up to get your day started. It's much like this scenario is similar to, say, if you go to you go over to Mexico City, maybe the day one of Mexico City, you stay out late, you have a good time, but you also want to see the city, you want to maybe get on some tours, you want to, like, the main reason why you went to Mexico City wasn't for just partying. Of course, you really want to see other things, the culture, maybe wine tasting, art, anything really. And you'd like to be aware of those times, so you'd like to wake up on time so that you don't miss that event. And you can also be conscious of this while you're out as well. Okay, until next time, looking forward to the next episode.